Okay. So how are you all?
Good.
We're
Good.
missing a bunch of Heritage Village folks, aren't we?
Uh, yes.
Maybe they went on vacation.
Yeah.
We'll hope they're doing something fun. How's that? Okay. Um, did you have a chance to get some of the supplies that we talked about? Did you get some black paper?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. And at least some kind of white pen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, then we're going to go for it. It's going to be how it's going to be. All right, I want to start. Let me move all this stuff out of my way over to the side where I'll use it eventually. Okay. So let's just take a couple of deep breaths, all right? Tell me that everybody, you did know that the videos are up and everybody could access them correctly, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, just double checking since I've had technology issues this last week or so. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing a minute. So I would like us to start off by just taking 3 deep breaths. Can we do that? Just 3 deep breaths. I don't know about you, but for me, sometimes just rotating my neck a bit gets me kind of loose to be able to focus. While you do that, I want to talk a little bit about kind of an aha I had this week that I think will inform us as we go forward. You all know that I take a class so that I can try to get better at this. And in class, it's kind of a class. She calls it a group because she says, I don't really tell you what to do. This is a club where we all tangle together. It's kind of where I got that thinking. But we were talking about how some of us have really nice journals that people give us as presents. And they say, here, this is a wonderful opportunity for you to be able to do your tangling in this journal. And then we look at the journal and we say, oh my God, isn't this thing beautiful? It's so lovely. And then we put it back on the shelf, right?
Yeah.
Because we go, oh my God, I can't tangle in that. I'll wreck it. If I tangle on that paper, I mean, and I had a brilliant example myself. So we were all supposed to bring something that we were afraid to tangle in. So I got a brilliant, lovely, wonderful journal that I was given, and it's quilted cover and it has what's called tea stained paper, brilliant edged paper. And I got it last Christmas. There was no tangling in it. It was empty. And I would open it up and I would go, oh my God, that's such a pretty journal. And then I'd put it back on the shelf. So the reason I'm telling this story is because I think what happens to us, I know it happens to me, so maybe it also happens to you, is that I start doing Zentangle when I get ready for this class. And working on black tiles this week has been extraordinarily fun for me because it's different, because I haven't done it in a while. And so I'm like, oh, this is so cool. So I did all these examples and I picked the 2 tangles and then right the day before the class, I start to say, I don't know. Do you think this is a good enough class? Is the tangle the right one? And then we all start to question whether we're doing it right, or whether we're doing it good enough, or whether we're doing it beautiful enough, or is it going to end up being gorgeous in the end? And I suffer from that. So for me, the last class I had, what we emphasized is this isn't the product, it's the process. So part of what we're learning today is a new process. And it's not, the odds are that the first time you take a white Jelly Roll pen and tangle on a black tile, it's not going to be something you're going to win a prize for when you finish. Hopefully, it will be a process that you'll have fun and enjoy, because it really has some neat qualities to it you can't get any other way. And you learn some new skills. All right, fair enough? So I'm just warning you, and I'm also sharing my own issues because it helps me when I get to talk to you all about my own stuff. So I appreciate it. Everybody has their own Zentangle method. How do I want to say this? We all make our relationship with tangling differently. And I think that's the beauty of the art form. So, okay, I'll be quiet. Now, I won't be quiet, but we'll get started. You all saw these last week, right?
Mhm.
At the end of class, when I showed them, and some of you took pictures, and then that's why I got the video up as quick as I could. All right. Now, the one thing I'm going to warn you about is when you do this through a camera, you don't always get all the details of color that you do in real life, but it's pretty close, I have to admit. And I've been playing with it, and I put up a barrier to my windows. Susan, you'll appreciate this because the light is very bright today. And it was wrecking the ability for you to see my work on a black tile. So that was my discombobulation. In that I used to have a green screen back in the day when we first got into Zoom and the pandemic and remote work. And I always kept it in the bag, and I got it out and it flipped open. So I just put it in to block the light from the window. So there you go. Okay. All of you know about the white charcoal pen, right? Pencil, because
Mhm.
you all have one,
Mhm.
right? You
Right.
also have a white pencil we sent you.
Mhm.
Of course, it's
Yes.
not going to be. So everybody remembers that, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
It's here somewhere, but of course I'm not going to find it because that would be too simple. So those you automatically have. Now tell me what, some of you have colored pencils, some of you have different kinds of colored pencils. What do you all have?
I have a Zentangle white pencil.
Right, and that's it, Linda?
Uh, no, I've got other Zentangle pencils. I've got a lot of pencils. of different
Okay,
kinds.
what kind are they? All Zentangle?
I have General's pastel chalk.
Good, okay, perfect, perfect.
I have, I don't know how you say this. Can you see that?
No, because I'm sharing my screen.
Oh, it's a permanent color black, OION SHON.
Okay.
SHAN.
Okay, I got you. Okay, like do people have Faber-Castell or
Yeah.
Prismacolor or any of those? Susan, what you got?
I have all three of those.
You're wonderful. I love
Mhm.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have Prismacolor and Generals.
Good.
I have Prisma and I have gold and silver jelly rolls in addition to the white.
Perfect.
I have
You're
a
all
Prang,
wonderful.
too.
I'm sorry.
I have a Prang as well.
Okay, cool. Cool, cool. Mike and Myra, you got some pencils, right?
We have the Faber Castell Faber
Yeah,
Castell
yeah, that's fine.
Polychromatics.
I do
And we
too.
also have Moonlight Jelly Rolls.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, and it doesn't, just to let the rest of you know, if nobody has any of those, it doesn't matter. The issue is different pencils will respond differently to this surface. That's all. So real quick, I'm not going to spend a lot of time because that's not the fun part of this class. But the Stabilio Carbothellos are chalk.
Right,
Okay, they're chalk pencils.
right.
Okay. And so that's wonderful on the one hand, because not only can you do really good deep color, like for instance, I wanted to do something in red, and there is no red jelly roll that has a decent color to me. They all look pink or orange. So what I do when I want red is I use the Carbothellos because it gives me a nice bright color, right? And then the other thing it does,
Good to have those.
which is even better, is it lets me blend it
Oh,
because it's chalk. Okay. It's very similar to your white chalk Zentangle, even though your white Zentangle pencil is similar to this. So when I'm looking for a certain color, don't be afraid to go away from the jelly roll and look at pencils. Now, the Faber-Castell are hardcore pencils. Do you remember what that means?
Mhm.
That means when you go to use them, you can push the bejesus out of them and they'll be okay.
Right.
Because, let me get my red since I'm into red these days.
They don't blend. You can't blend them.
So it means I can really go at it. Okay. But you see, it has a different effect, right?
right.
It's a little more subtle, a little less bright,
Exactly.
and it doesn't blend.
Right,
It's not like the chalk. Now,
right.
I can try, and I can probably move the pencil around a little bit, but it's not going to blend the same way as a chalk pencil is. The Prismacolor, on the other hand, hang on, two shakes, are soft core pencils. Thought I had all my boxes over here already. Come on, give me a red. So I'm comparing apples to apples. So what softcore means is that you want to watch out because they're much more likely to break on you, right? If you get them too sharp, they'll pop right off that little end. But because they're soft core,
Mhm.
you see there's it's a different red, but you get the gist.
Mhm.
They're going to be waxier.
Mm.
Okay. Not a bad thing, not a good thing, a different thing. So just to give you an idea of how different pencils respond to black paper. And what that means is look at all the choices you have. It's not that one is better than another, one is more brilliant than another. I also here tried to say that it's wonderful when you're using black and you can take and you can outline with that lovely white jelly roll, right? Now, let's talk jelly rolls, okay? Moving over. Is everybody okay with that?
Mhm.
Okay. Jelly Roll Moonlight are wonderful color options on a black tile. And that's the one I sent you in the email and we talked about last week. Remember when I said go with Jelly Roll Moonlight because regular jelly rolls don't maintain their color on the black tile. They also have something called Jelly Roll Moonlight Glitter. Is it glitter? No, let me look at what it says. Metallic, sorry. And those also work. Okay. Now here's the really fun trick. Well, I'll show you that in a minute. Okay. We already talked about white. Jelly Roll Sakura come in the 10, the 8, or the 5, which means you're going to get a different width tip. Okay? All right. Enough with the talking. We're going to do two, well, let me say this better. Because this is the first time we've worked on black in a while, I want to start off by showing you where we can go. Because I think sometimes that gives you a sense of fun rather than feeling like you're trying to learn something and not having any fun. So here's one option. Okay, and that, what is that? That's harp. Okay, and I will show you the Tangle harp. And I have here some different examples of harp somewhere. Of course, I've lost them. Man, I am discombobulated. Forgive people. So we're going to talk about how when you lay harp out, you can control the width of the section where the quote unquote strings are. Here we go. Finally, Peggy has found her examples.
Oh,
Okay, that's harp.
that's beautiful.
And it's not a hard tangle. We're going to do it. But you can tell that where I place my circles affects how big this section is.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're going to do harp. That's one. This is just one example using only white and gold. That's all I used was the gold pen and the white pen. And then I used Carbothellos, I think, for the shading in here. And then I used Carbothellos, let me see if you can see, for the shadowing. Do you see how there's
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
shading called shadowing, where you just kind of shadow the shape of the thing you've drawn to give it a little bit of a dimensional effect.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, ignore the other thing that's underneath there. But anyway, now here's one of those magic tricks that I mentioned. I came up here, you can barely see it, and I didn't like what I did, right? And I did it in gold. This is a black tile, right? So I took my Micron 12, and you can get, doesn't have to be a 12. And I just said, oh, I don't like that. Let's make that go away.
Ah.
I learned this in a package, a project pack I took with Zentangle, and they intentionally used the black Sakura to take out things in the tangle they were doing on a black tile. So just keep it in mind. If you go, oh, I don't like that, just take out your black Sakura. It'll be okay. Okay, so there's one. Here's two.
Oh, how fun.
Okay, this is Fengle, F-E-N-G-L-E. Now, I, for the first time, because I was watching some old videos of Fengle just for the heck of it, and I learned where Fengle got its name. Apparently, Rick and Maria were, in the old days, early days of Zentangle, and Rick said in the video, you know it's early days because she was using it, doing it on a newspaper. She would go, when they would go out or they would do things or go places, Maria would always be drawing on something and coming up with new tangles. And she was doing this on a newspaper. And she called her daughter Molly and said, oh my God, I have a new tangle. And Molly said, where are you? And she said, we're at Feng, which is a sushi place. And Molly said, oh, a Fengle. And that's how Fango got its name. I always think the naming process is kind of fun. This is merely multiple Fangles. And then all I did, because I didn't like the fact that they weren't connected in any way, they were just sitting there because Fangle ends right here. And I thought, how am I going to connect these? I don't want a whole lot of background. It's like Mike was saying that he used the pencil and put in all the backgrounds and didn't like them. Well, I did a bunch of backgrounds in white pencil and I didn't like them at all, so I erased them all off. And then I went, well, what if I just let them hang out? So I just hung out these little dots in the color in each of the Fangles. This is Jelly Roll Moonlight pens. Okay. Third example.
Ooh, I'll have fun. 4th of July.
Exactly. Now, I started off, a friend of mine said, why don't you do a 4th of July theme? And we looked and looked and looked and looked to find a red Jelly Roll pen, and they all suck. I'm just going to tell you. They aren't really red. They're pink, they're orange. I mean, look at them. Here they all
Yeah.
are. Here they are.
Great.
Yeah.
They're not red. So I said to her, I can't do that then. So I went off and did these others. And then I went, wait, let's use pencil. So this is Cadent. I know it doesn't look like Cadent, does it? But this is Cadent. This is just my adaptation of.
Oh, no.
Shit. I'll think of it when my brain isn't trying to.
Yep.
I just did 2 lines instead of the 4. So you normally do 4 and 4 and 4 and 4 and 4. This is a Fangle. Kiko. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. My brain would have gone crazy. Obviously Muka, obviously Poke Root, all things we know. This is that E of 4 that I've used before. And this is Furby. Then just a little bit of, I will admit to you that I did this quickly because I wanted an example that was different. I'm not sure I would have put Flux in here if I'd backed up and thought about it a minute, but I kind of like how it came out.
Yeah.
And all this is, the coloring inside Cadent is all pencil. Now, I did go over the pencil a bit with the white Jelly Roll because sometimes white pencil on a black tile will look gray. Makes sense, right?
Uh-huh.
Like right there. You can see that looks a little gray, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
That's pencil. That's white pencil. But this is pencil, and this is pencil, and these were Carbothellos, I believe. Okay, now the reason I'm showing you all this isn't that you have to do this particular thing, but sometimes I think when we go to a new surface like black, you kind of go, oh, where do I start? So my thought was, if I give you something to look at initially, it gives you ideas. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to demonstrate the Tangle Harp and the Tangle Fangle, and then we'll start a tile. They won't take long for me to show you, okay? Is everybody good with that?
Yep.
Yes.
Now, what you should know is this is a 5x5 tile. So if you're using paper, you can cut it any way you want. If you're using a tile and bought it from Zentangle, you may have gotten 3.5 by 3.5. And this is the same example. This is Fangle on a 3.5 by 3.5 tile. Right? So you're not going to do 6 Fangles on a smaller surface, right? Okay, just saying. This is a 5x5, but it could easily go on a 3.5. I just did it so I could show you more clearly. Right? So which one you want me to do first, guys? Harp or Fangle?
Harp.
Harp. I can't complain because Harp is one of my faves. Okay. Come on, where's my white? All right. When you do harp, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to start with a circle in the center, an orb in the center. And from that orb, you want to create 5 S curves. Okay? Now you're going to do that by connecting this orb to another orb, right? So your first choice is how far away do you want, see if I can show, this first set of circles to be. And you can see here, I did it about that distance. So I took, and it's not perfect and exact, but I did my 5 about that far away. So that's what I'm going to do on this. So I start with 1 at the top because it's easy to decide where the top is, right? Then I start with 2 kind of spaced out at the bottom. Right? And then I just do another one in between those. And there's my 5.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, so I got my 5 orbs around my inner orb. Now, I don't know about you, but here's my issue always. Which way does the S curve go? So this time we're doing an actual S, not a reverse, all right? So it's a takeoff and land. So I'm going to start up here and I'm going to come down like that. Okay? And I'm just going to start the normal S, like you would draw an S. Am I doing that right, guys? I think so. No, I'm doing it backwards, aren't I?
Oh,
You are.
I hate that. But that's what we want to do. So I just lied to you. We want to do a backward S. I know y'all think I've lost my mind. That's your first start. Okay, has everybody got me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
so Peggy, are you saying you basically could draw the S either way?
No, I'm saying what happens to me, and I'm going to double check because we all make mistakes and I want to be sure I'm not. Perfect.
I'm making use of the micro pen to erase.
Yay!
It works.
It does, doesn't it? Okay. What I'm saying, Mary, is that whenever I do a tangle that uses an S curve, invariably my brain remembers it the wrong direction.
Mm.
You know, normally I will do an S, right? And Cadent and Huggins both use different directions of the S curve. So I always have to look carefully, which is why I'm looking it up. I always have to look carefully to make sure that I remember correctly which way the S goes. That was my point.
Okay.
I didn't make it very well, but that was my point. So in harp, you're doing what is called the backward S. In other words, if I were making an S naturally, I'd go this way, right?
Right.
You'd go left and then right. In this instance, you're going this way, right? I just went this direction.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to explain. Okay?
Got it.
Okay. Now you're going to put additional orbs. up a little further and in between each of the ones that you have now. So here are 2 orbs, and I'm going to put another one up here. But I have a decision to make. And this is something I've been playing with since I did this all week long. If I do, here's the 2, okay, the first ones that connected. Depending on how far up I go, and depending on how far over I go this direction, that controls how much space I have in here. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let me show you in pencil, because then I can move back and forth. Come on, where's my white pencil? Okay, so if I do my orb here, right? What I'm then going to do is I'm going to connect these 2, all right? Okay, that was good, Peg. Well, guys, I'm really sorry. I'm not sure what's up with me today.
That's all right. We do all that all the time, and it's nice to know what you can do to correct yourself.
Well, I'm usually a little
Have
better.
a sense of humor.
There you go.
Well, that I have, because God knows you have to. Okay. I was really excited about this class and thought I had my shit together, but there you
That's
go.
all right. You taught us how to erase on a black tile.
When you're using white chalk, it's just like when you use graphite on a white tile and you don't, you can erase those lines if you need to. You can do that on a black tile if you're using white chalk, like our Zentangle white pencils. Okay? So when I first do this, right, what I'm going to do after I do that is I'm going to do that same S curve that I did here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing I'm going to do after I do all those circles is I'm going to connect this. And I'm going to put in 3 lines. And you can tell this is where I'm putting in the lines of the harp, if you will. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I normally don't do this. I normally just say, go for it, and how it turns out, it turns out. And that's okay too. But if you want to have a little more room here, and that's what I was looking for here, all right, you'll notice what I did is I moved a little closer to this orb than to this one.
Wait a minute.
So here's my 2 orbs, right? Then what I did when I put this orb in, I didn't center it in the middle. I got it a little closer over here, and that gave me more playroom here. And I kind of liked that. So I thought I would share it with you. You can do whatever flips your Bic. So let me show you what I mean. Right here, I'm just going to do the standard harp, which normally is I go up between these 2 guys and I put in an orb. Then I go up between these 2 guys and I put in an orb. Same thing. Okay, I do that all the way around. All right. And then the next thing I'm going to do is that backwards S. Now, let me talk a little bit about getting a white jelly roll to flow. There's 2 things I will tell you. One is to start it on your hand. That's one trick we all use. And all of us laugh about how we walk around with colored jelly roll on our hand. The other is if you practice on the back or on a piece of black paper, sometimes the angle at which you hold the jelly roll will affect the flow of the ink. Okay, so if I go all the way up like this, I tend to get less flow than if I go at just a little angle. But every Jelly Roll is a little different. The other thing I've learned is the harder I press with the Jelly Roll, the slower the ink flows. So let me show you what I mean. Hopefully that's dry. The other thing is, remember, it doesn't dry quite as quickly as a Micron, okay? So when I'm pressing really hard, because I'm trying to do something perfect, I get that. When I lighten up the press of the pen, you may not notice a difference with this one. It's a much smoother flow of ink. I find that to be even more true when I work with, yep, you're not started. Come on, baby. This may be my dead one. What are you? Oh, no, I'm not doing that with a 5. Okay. Egging. Okay. I have definitely found that with Sakuras. If I push really hard, you see the diff? This is pushing really hard. See, mine are all flowing pretty good, so of course it's not going to be a good example. But when I lighten up, I get a lot more ink. And maybe part of it is the flow of the ink is better. So I can, when I go to do whatever it is I'm drawing, I don't have to work as hard at it. So sometimes just lightening up can make a difference. All right, fair enough.
Mhm.
Sorry, they were all flowing really well, so I couldn't give you a good example. Okay, now I love this Jelly Roll pen, but one thing you should pick up if you even look at this is it's not a real fine point, right? I mean, you can kind of tell it's got a little thickness to it that you don't always see when you're using a black Micron, right?
Mhm.
That makes sense?
Mhm.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to draw the top part of my harp, if you will. So what you're doing is you're starting here and you're coming down and around. Now, Mary, here's the reason that you can't use your S curve either direction. Because the thing about Zentangle is you don't cross lines, right?
Right.
So by doing a backwards S, I can then do this curve and it totally avoids all the other lines, line by line. So I start and I take off and I end. There's 2, okay? And then there's 3. One, 2, 3. And you just continue to do that all the way around. Whoops. The reason I like harp is because it gives you lots of options with embellishments. There, I knew the word would come. Now, I've done some different things. You can choose how wide you make these, right? By how you do those curves. You're choosing how wide this is by how far you put your orb over. So it's kind of a fun tangle because it has a lot of flexibility. And every time I do it, it looks just a little bit different. Every time I do it, it looks different.
Oh,
Okay. So now I'm going to take my gold because I like my gold with this. You can continue with the white. You can use any other color that moves you, whatever you prefer. And what you're going to do is you're going to aura down to the curve. And you're going to put in as many, let me just do this. Oh, that won't work. As many lines as you can fit. Okay, you see I made a mistake there. I'm going to show you how you can fix that. I'm sorry, we don't make mistakes. I forgot. So here you can see that I overdrew my line, which is a common mistake we often make, but I can always reclaim that line with my white jelly roll. You know how we often, when we shade, we'll go back in and reclaim lines? Same thing here, only it's even a little easier. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put line weight at the top of each of those lines. With a Jelly Roll pen, I tend to do that. Okay, take this down. I tend to do that by just adding, how do I want to say it? Just touching that line with a Jelly Roll pen will release ink. And often that is sufficient line weight. And you don't need to do any more. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Usually we do the little V, and then you ink it in order to give you line weight at the top of a line. With a Jelly Roll, it's got so much, it releases so much more ink. A little wonky, but my wonky. The wonky is mine. Yeah, my line weight's a little messy. I'm having a hell of a time seeing. Okay, buddy. Hopefully I'm not going to kill myself, so. Okay. That still look okay on the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
And I can see much better, so. Boy, my vision is just giving me fits. Sorry, guys. That, my friends, is harp. And all I've done here, my penchant for orbs and tipple. So I used tipple in that first here, and I did it in the white. And then I decided to go ahead and fill these spaces with white tipple with gold dots in the center. And then this is just our regular, yep, that one. Damsel leaf. Our regular old damsel leaf. And I just did the damsel leaf in gold. Do you see where this became this? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you could have done amazing colors. You could have used, in fact, I've seen some folks actually fill the in-betweens, not the one I want, fill, you really can't see, Peggy. Which is just another effect. You see what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's why I really like harp, because it has so much flexibility and you can do so many embellishments with it that speak to you. Ooh, that's kind of cool, huh? Boy, my line weight is terrible. Ooh. And I would probably go ahead and do the top of that. My thinking. Anyway, just another example. Okay? Are you okay with harp, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You want to see Fangle?
Peggy,
Yes.
I just realized something. I bought new Jelly Roll pens and I realized they come with a little plastic cap over the pen point. I'm
Yes.
wondering if Marie has not taken that off.
Oh, if Mary I wonder if Mary knew that.
right.
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
No,
That-
no, sorry, because it's true. And I have tried many a time in the beginning to write with them when they had the stupid little plastic cap on the end.
Yeah. Okay.
So don't worry. No problem. Do you guys remember Fangle or should I do Fangle?
Yeah, do Fangle.
All right, I will. That I seem to be having so much difficulty here. Let me just double check something. Now, Fangle, there are some options with Fangle. I do Fangle with a dot or with an orb in the center. The actual step out from Zentangle, because this is a Zentangle headquarters pattern, just does the lines. Now that drives me a little crazy, but let me just show you what I mean. They would start here and they do a pretty substantial S. And they just continue doing that until you have 5.
Yeah.
But what they also say is, and I've watched a couple of videos, you can do as many as you want. I have found 5 to work pretty well, so I've stayed with 5. That's a little dicey, huh? So what I have done, I'm just going to show you, is I have tended to use an orb in the center, again, which is not how they teach it, so I'm confessing. It helps me balance my 5. I don't know why. It's a mental thing. We all deal with proportion differently. For me, the circle helps me figure out where I'm putting them. They don't do that. They just start with an S and then they build the 5 off. They also curve quite a bit. Not as much as that, obviously, but they do curve. Now, one of the things I've done with Fangle is I have said, oh, no, 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 I don't want that much curve. Because when I draw S curves, I tend to get carried away. So what I do is I go back and I say, yeah, that's better. I like those curves better. So I have cheated on a black tile before. All right, now the other option you've got is how you curve, how much you curve will determine what your Fangle looks like in the end, right? They have a the original Tangle brings this around like that so that it doesn't point it as much. Kind of looks a bit like a claw, if you want to know the truth. And you bring that line down to just about halfway on the bottom. Hold on, let me increase the exposure here now that okay. So I'm going to make my little claw and then I'm going to come down to about right in the middle. Oops, see, now there was my flow of my pen was not very good. And I was pressing pretty hard. Okay, the original Tangle then includes that inside kind of V-shaped, if you will, aura. What you can tell is in this one, I decided not to curve around, okay, like this. I mean, that's even more pronounced a curve. Here I have a curve. Here I kept a point. I've seen Fangle done any way you can think of, so it's not like a rule. On these, I did the point, and then I did 2 inside auras. Like here, I only did 1, and then here I did a second. Now, I'd made a couple choices here, right? When I brought my line back around, I went a little wider than this so that I had a little more room to play with. It's all about draw your line and see where you end up. Do a Fangle and decide which one you like. Okay. Fangle, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Perfect. I think this is all pretty straightforward in terms of you already know. All I've done here is just use the pencils to give you a chance to see a different effect. Cadent is just you take a section of your tile right? Cadent goes the right S, not the wrong S. To this way. So here's a good example, Mary. This particular tangle doesn't ask the way you would normally draw it.
Mhm.
That's cadent. It's that simple. And then all I did was wherever that tile, oh, it's behind you. All I did was put an aura in the middle and fill it in with a color. Does that make sense, y'all?
Mhm. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Now I would love just some feedback. Do you want me to go and do a tile? And which shape are you feeling the love for today? Or are you on your own and you're happy and you're proceeding along and you don't need me to do whatever I can do whatever I feel like?
Well, I
Where
think
are
I
you?
just,
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think I developed my own.
I think we're happy with both of them. We in fact, I'm gonna try and do two.
That's good. I love it. But don't you think those two tangles are nice on a black tile with a white
Yeah.
top?
Well,
I
nice.
just thought they were good. So I'm going to try a harp on a round tile, I think. That's what I'm going to do. See, now I've got my sun back. I'll tell you, the sun is, I know
Yeah.
people love the sun,
No,
but when you're trying to teach this in a room that has lots of windows, the sun is evil.
very difficult.
Okay, I'm going to harp. See, now I just tried that and no ink came out, right? I just tried to make a little orb, no ink. I'm going to go here, see what's going on. Oh, there's my ink. And then I'm going to start again. And that's because I had my cap off the pen and I was just holding it up in the air or laying it down. And eventually what it does is it dries out and clogs the tip. Just saying. See how such a nice little cheater. Better? Okay. I can also show you another trick I learned that might come in handy. I have been unhappy lately with my tortillons because I think the tips tend to collapse.
Yes.
Yes,
So-
they do.
The trick I learned is I take the paper clip, okay, I open a paper clip and I stick it up in there, but I don't take it out, I leave it.
Oh,
Ah,
Okay.
yeah.
So it
that's
kind
a
of,
great idea.
right, so it makes it'll stop it from shoving back in.
Yeah.
And then because I was going through 9,000 tortillons because I was using all these colors, I saw somebody do this.
Unusual.
Ah,
And look, all the red that I just put on there is now off the tortillon.
Huh.
And I went, well, just damn, why didn't I know that sooner? So just to give you a little tip I found. What color do you want, Peggy? What color? What color?
Vicky, could you show the finished tangle, the second one, not heart, but the other one?
Sure.
And
The one I just did or the finished tile?
The- That one.
Okay.
Then you
There-
put the
There's
Okay.
this version, and then this version.
Oh, so you don't necessarily have to put in the triangle.
No, you don't have to do anything.
Oh,
See,
okay.
the thing about Zentangle, and this is the thing I think is most intriguing about the way Rick and Maria set this up. They don't copyright any tangles.
Mhm.
They only copyright the method. So Zentangle, the word Zentangle, and the method you use, line by line, the 8 steps, that's copyrighted. But you can take a tangle and change it. So the original tangle as it's drawn is this one, this guy down in the bottom. Does my pointer show up on this thing?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, so here's how they draw it, how Maria created it when she was sitting in Feng, okay?
Mhm.
Is that she used a hook. Peggy, don't use your finger. She used a hook, okay, this big hook thing. And she did the inside triangle and not an orb in the center. They just start from a point. And they go out and they do a very significant, in the step out, the original step out Maria created, they do a very significant S. And you can see my S isn't like that. It's much more subtle. And then this one's a little more, right? This one's much more significant. But you see, that's the beauty of Zentangle. Every single tangle will change when each person does it because your curve is not going to be like anybody else's. It
Do you
just
have
isn't.
one that's colored? Just
Sure.
colored?
Of course I do. Hold on, hold on. I got it. I got it.
Oh, okay.
So what I did with this is I did the triangle, okay? My curve's moderate, but I didn't do the hook version, right? I did the point version. And then I used pencil to fill in my triangles.
Now, why would you choose pencil over the Moonlight Jelly Rolls?
That's a very good question. I could have done the Moonlight Jelly Rolls easy because the outside is Moonlight Jelly Roll. I drew, let me see if I can show you what I mean. I drew the tangle with a Moonlight Jelly Roll pen. See, you can tell. Here's my colors. Oh my God, that doesn't look like the color it is. Oh well. And the purple. So I used Moonlight Jelly Roll to draw the tangle. And I just thought the texture would be different if I used a pencil. Is that true, or did I use the Jelly Roll pen? You know, this is really good, Mary, that you asked this question. I used the Jelly Roll pen.
Oh,
I did so many versions of this that I didn't even remember my own damn version. Yep, on this one I stayed totally with the Jelly Rolls.
okay.
And that is orange, by the way, not whatever color's showing up. So it's this orange color. Wow, it's so interesting how colors are different. So the whole thing, and you can tell, do you see some gaps you can see the black through? And that's where you would go back in with the Jelly Roll and ink in, just like when you do inking in with the Micron pen on white tiles. Sometimes you'll find little gaps because you didn't ink in totally. Same thing here.
Got
I
it. That's
would
very helpful.
thank you for asking because I totally forgot what I did. This must be It's interesting to me that these pens, the colors of these pens are really cool, but boy, you sure don't see it on here. For instance, this is really gray. It's not white.
Wow.
Hmm.
Not that you'd know that, but it is.
Mm.
Funny. That's really interesting. It's the nature of the internet, guys. See, there you go. Look.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
And see the purple?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then that color? And then the gray.
Wow.
See, I shouldn't have taken down that stupid green screen. Problem was I couldn't see. God, dry eyes are a problem. Okay, does that help, Mary?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Any other questions, y'all?
Wait.
Okay.
No, silver.
Good thing I bought a lot of tiles. The other thing I was going to show you, if you really get into white jelly rolls on black tiles, this is just an Inzeppel grid.
That's so
Oh,
pretty.
that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did with this, let's see which one do I like better, is they took this, let me just get all this out of the way. And then they used the pencils. And when you do that, they
Pretty,
look
pretty.
a bit like flowers, right?
Yes, they do. Oh,
And it's just Enzeppel.
isn't that pretty?
So I'm happen to be using a Carbothello here, but the next one that I do, I'm going to use Prisma, I think. So you can kind of get a sense of the differences. Okay, so Carbotella, because it's chalk, I'm going to take my secret. So you know those gaps that you're noticing.
Oh, that's pretty. Yes.
I can use my tortillon.
Ah, yes.
You see how it's less, because it's spread around more, the black has come through a bit, so the color changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But it also doesn't look all gappy, like, gappy is not a good word, but you're not seeing black leak through the same way. You're getting a different sense of color, and it almost looks more like a flower this way, because flowers are different colors, but they don't have these
Mhm.
funny little lines in them.
Mhm.
So it smooths it out, so you don't see. So that's one pencil effect, if you will, when you're using chalk, that you know that you can blend. See how different it is?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay,
Pretty.
but now if I use, let me see what I got here. Okay, this is a Faber-Castell, however you say it. So it's a hardcore regular pencil, right? So I'm going to try to make it darker, kind of down at the center, because that seems logical to me. And then we won't use quite as much when we come up to the edge. I realize these reds aren't the same, but I'm
Well,
not going to,
no two flowers are the same.
there you go. But it's layering that's going to give me the colors I want with this pencil.
Mhm.
Because if I were to use a tortillon, it really wouldn't make much difference. But this is where Haunani talks a lot about adding different colors, right? So she layers with different shades of red. So you would
Oh.
use a darker shade here, right? I should not be doing this because Haunani's the one who knows this better than me, but she would be using a darker red here and then do shades of red as she layers out,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
With the Prismacolor, they always feel really different to me because they're so much softer. And I think they blend nicely. So if let's say I want to do something really different, and I want to add some white in this flower.
Okay.
I like Prismacolor because I can blend them more easily. Like when when Haunani always is doing, or, gems, there's the word I want. I like Prismacolor because they're soft enough that they blend the colors together. So if I wanted to make, I should have another color of, where am I? Prismacolor. Let me get another red here. So you can have too many pencils, just said I tell you. It's true, you can. So let me see if I've got something. See what here. I need something more fun. Like, see what happens. See, it's all different because it's on black.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with several mediums. So you're blending pencils, but you're blending pencils on a black background.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's fascinating. Okay, so you
Yes,
just have
it
to play. Is my great aha for you. And I will admit that the reason I tend to break down and do Carbocellos is because for me, they're the easiest. I confess. Well, I got away from my tile, but that's probably just as well. I have found when I'm working on black, because I did black all week. Because I knew I had to have more time with black because I hadn't been. You just have to see what happens and try things, because when you're putting color on top of black, it's just going to react differently. You know, the reason I like Carbocellos is because they're chalks. So the Tortan is going to blend this.
Oh, pretty.
So if I take
Yeah.
my
I like that.
famous
Love
Tortan,
that.
which I need to clean again. This is fascinating. I'm not going to have to buy 9,000 Tortans like I had.
Right. Oh,
I like that a lot.
Okay, but you see how the
Yes.
black comes through?
Yes,
So it's not the same as if you were doing it on a white tile
right.
But
or even a
That's-
tan tile, because you get that black effect. And then you have to decide, well, do I like that or do I want to add some more white?
it makes it look kind of glittery, Peggy.
I know, it's really interesting, isn't it?
I think it's pretty.
And
So the
after
chalk-
after blending it, it really is nice.
Yeah. I like
See,
that.
I do too. And the chalk, the reason I like working with Carbocellos and like working with chalk pencils is because they will frequently let the underneath in. So even when I'm on a tan tile, like, where's one?
So pretty.
This is the one I did for my class recently.
Oh,
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah.
But it's
Oh, I like that.
this is Carbocello.
Can you
So I-
spell that?
I'm sorry?
Can you spell Carbocello?
Sure. It's CAR. Oh, hell, let me look.
CARBOTHELLO.
Correct. And the brand name is Stabilo. It's STABILO.
Right.
Carbothello is this particular pencil. Anyway, that's,
Okay, thank you.
yeah. But I've not done this on black very much up to this point. So I thought it was fascinating when I started playing with it.
Yeah, it's just got a glow to it.
It does.
So I really like Carbothellos on black tiles. Oh, now that did come out good.
It really did.
That's so interesting. And I didn't think it came out as well on some of these other ones. But see, it does when you use the chalk.
This is beautiful. It gives it life.
Chalk is fun. Now, the downside to chalk pencils is you'll get a lot of dust. You'll tend to get chalk dust, good old chalk dust, like on a chalkboard. And if you want to preserve them, there is a fixative you can use that sets the chalk.
Add hairspray.
That works also. It's just I have found hairspray is a little harder to control.
Okay.
So what do you use?
It's a fixative. Hold on, let me get the name.
Oh.
I have to go behind my. Can you see this thing, guys?
Uh-huh.
I just have to figure out how to put it back. Let me see if I can find it. Yes, I got it. Krylon. I thought that's what it was, but I couldn't remember for sure. Now, this will fix the chalk. Do not ever use this unless you're in outside, well ventilated.
Okay.
A lot of people don't like it because it's got bad jujus in it. You go outside and you stand in a place, wear your COVID mask, stand in a place where you can spray away from yourself and it's not going to hurt anybody. But now, if I did this, see, when I do that, you see it came off in my finger?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's the diff. But that is fun. I like that. Huh. I wouldn't have done that unless we did this little test. Okay. All right, we are at noon. Let me stop sharing. Does anybody want to share what they've done?
Yes.
Oh, Margaret is ready. Good Lord. Margaret is wanting to share.
Okay, you can't see the colors, but I did red, white, and blue up here.
Oh, cool.
And
nice.
Prisma. Now you
That's
can
cool.
see it.
No, I
There
can
you go.
see.
Wait a minute,
Yeah,
there
there
you
you
go.
go. We can see. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Right.
the one I did right. This is the one that I got all
Oh.
screwed up.
That's good. I
But
like
it's
it.
kind of
But I
fun.
made an angel out of one that was really messed up.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
And this is
That
just a
is-
That's
fluff cloud.
nice.
What can I say?
It's
But
angel.
that's what was fun about it.
That's
That's
right.
exactly right. And that's the whole bloody point, isn't it? Isn't it the point?
Mhm.
Yep.
Mike, you want to show?
Sure. I can. I've been working on two of them.
Okay.
I don't know if they're finished yet, but
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Lovely,
Nice.
very nice.
Oh,
I
I like
love
what
that.
you did in the corners.
thank you.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
cool.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
I'm glad.
I like
I'm
the
glad.
session.
I'm glad. That always helps because I'm never sure.
It was,
I'm never sure for sure, you know?
good. It was a good session.
Thank you, Mike. I'm glad. I'm glad you had fun. That's what matters. Does anybody else want to show in the middle?
I'll show.
Anne, all right. I got you, Anne Marie. Anne Marie, here I'm coming. Oh, cool.
Oh, I love
nice.
that.
I
Yeah.
love the
like that.
colors.
Beautiful.
Love the colors.
That's
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well, I had to
wonderful.
go with pink because while we've been on class, my daughter-in-law called me and she's having contractions. So we're probably gonna have our first
Oh,
grandbaby in the
right.
next
Oh,
24 hours.
congratulations.
Wow.
Yay.
After all these boys, we're getting a girl.
All right.
How
Yay.
exciting.
I wanted to say one more thing. While I was waiting for Amazon to bring me my black tiles, I was at Michael's and they have these, they're like canvases.
Yeah,
They're like
they are.
really thin canvases.
Yep.
And they're kind of fun to work on. You have to watch that you don't
Smudge on your hand.
smudge.
Yeah.
But while I was waiting, I was like, I played
Oh,
on
wow.
that.
Oh, really?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
And it
That's
inks
nice.
up,
Very
it
pretty.
inks
That's
up good.
nice.
It grabs it. It has that texture that you were talking about. So anyway, they're super cheap. It was like a 4-pack for like $2 or something. So if anybody's
Wow.
looking, and it's, I don't know, it's cool.
No,
if
it
you
is.
wanted to
It's like a
display
small
it.
canvas. It's like more of a fabric surface, is it not, Amory?
It's really just like a painter's canvas. It's
Yes,
just not
yes.
Yeah.
stretched on a
All
on
the
a
way
fat
around.
board.
Yep.
It's
Oh.
thin.
Yep.
Oh,
And
that's
you got that
fun.
where?
I got it
Michael?
at Michael's.
Michael's.
It was like
Okay.
on a, I feel like it was almost on an end cap. It was right by all of the artist canvases back there, the white
Okay.
ones. But they happened to have a little package of 4 of black. And I thought, well, it'd be fun to do if you wanted to like put it on a little easel and sit it on a table or something. Because
Yeah.
it,
Yes.
Or as a gift, it would be great.
Perfect.
yeah, it's so thick and sturdy. And I wasn't sure how the pins would adhere to it.
Yes, yes.
But it did good, and I actually even was able to shade on it and everything. So
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
That is
Anyway.
cool. Thank you for sharing that.
you're welcome.
That is, yes, and that's part of why I talk about multimedia papers, because when you can do everything, every type of medium on it, it tends to work really well.
Yeah.
Okay, who else? Who else? Who else? Anybody else? Anybody else?
I'll share.
I'll show mine. Go ahead.
Okay, wait, was that Anne?
Yeah.
Okay. I gotcha.
Oh,
cool.
pretty.
Oh,
Anne.
cool.
yeah,
Oh, I like
Love
that.
It's a start.
it's really neat.
It's wonderful. Are
really
you
like
kidding?
that.
It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
It's
Really
just
nice.
pretty.
It's
Mhm.
fun.
And I love what you
Nice,
did
nice,
at the
nice.
top of the strings.
The
Yeah,
pearls.
Can you
The
put that back
pearls,
up?
yes.
Mhm. Stencil.
How wonderful. That is cool. Ah, makes me happy.
Mhm.
Anybody else? Susan, Linda,
No.
Linda. I'm coming.
Okay.
I kind of went off on a tangent, not intentionally, but
No tangents are allowed.
Good, that's what,
See,
Oh,
that's
that's
kind of
neat.
like
Very
what I
nice. I
did. I
like it.
love that.
Yeah.
That is cool.
good.
and I used the Faber Castell
Right.
pencils,
Yep.
and it turned out kind of brown, kind of dark brown, kind of dark pink or
Yep.
dark red.
Right. It makes
Yeah,
the
red-
color
you did
darker. Right.
Red
Right.
and white too.
Yeah,
That looks
Yeah.
really cool. That is
Yeah.
really
Okay.
neat, Linda. I love it.
thank you.
Cool. You guys make my heart happy.
All that hard work. For you.
Janet,
I have
Marie.
nothing.
Well, baby, it's all right. You don't have to have something. I just
I know.
didn't want to miss you.
I have nothing showable is what I should say.
Well, neither did I. Remember last week I went, so I understand. Susan, did I ask you?
You did, but the answer is no. I am spatially challenged today.
Oh, well, honey, I was challenged right from the beginning, which you
Yeah.
certainly got to witness. So,
It'll be a couple hours.
all right. Mary, I'm assuming you're watching and not showing, right?
I have been asking too many questions to actually.
It's all right. I just always worry that I miss somebody. That's all. I don't. And Marie, I know you too well.
Anytime.
Oh, we can't have a video.
So I know she doesn't even have her camera on. She's like, forget it. I'm not sharing.
I wonder
I
if,
don't know.
I wonder if Anne Marie will put up her first tile.
Hey, Anne Marie, will you show your first one again?
I sure will.
That is
That
just
is so pretty.
Yeah.
I really like that.
It's
That's
lovely.
great. That's
I
Very-
love the
Thank you.
colors.
Very well
Thank
done.
Right.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Beautiful.
you. And I
Beautiful.
did get your jelly roll. I think this was maybe what you were talking about, the jelly roll moonlight.
Yep.
And
Yep.
but I got the fine ones,
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
good.
and they flowed really, really well.
Good.
You
Good.
got-
Because the other pack was multiple sizes, right, Anne Marie? Yeah, I think
Well,
it
I
was.
got that
Yeah,
too. I got the white one that had the 3 sizes,
Okay.
but then the moonlight comes in a fine and a medium, and I got the fine, and my mom got the medium. So we were going to compare what we thought.
Yeah. Cool. I'm gonna go look again because I bet it made it easier to do the lines in the heart, didn't it?
It did.
Yep, I
Yeah.
thought it would. All right. This is
This
cool.
was fun. This was fun.
I'm glad. I am very, very glad.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
I drew this last week, and I don't know what. I guess I was off a little bit last week. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with this.
Okay, this would be 2 weeks ago, right, Linda? Is that
Maybe.
the
Yes, we worked
borderless-
on it. We worked on it for 2 weeks, didn't we?
Yeah, borderless Shattuck, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And you came in the second week.
That's why I'm off a beat. Okay. I'll go back and watch the.
The video. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
best way because I did a first one and then we did the second one. I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
I don't know. I think we did. I'd have to go back and look myself.
That's okay. I'll look.
There is some discussion about how to use borderless Shattuck and some examples that are in that video. So if
Okay.
you don't find them, just yell and I can send you some stuff.
Okay.
Okay? I know you're headed off to have fun right now, so you won't be doing it in the next 5 minutes.
No.
But-
That's true.
and have a good time and don't think about Zentangle.
Thank you.
Okay, anything
Yeah,
else? Everybody
Y'all
good?
take care.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, y'all take
Thank
care.
you. Thank you, Peggy.
You
Thank
too.
you, Peggy.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.
Right.
Oh, Mom, your video came on.